I would like to call to order this meeting of the Sustainability Commission for Tuesday, March 14th of 2023. Betty, if you would please read the roll.
Alderperson Quigley.
Here.
Commissioner Black.
Here.
Commissioner Shampoo.
Here.
Commissioner Henry Gillis is excused. Commissioner Lawton. Commissioner Rakers.
Here.
Commissioner Slavin.
Here.
All right, thank you. Next item, public comment for matters not on the agenda. Comments made during the public comment period shall pertain only to matters under the jurisdiction of the Sustainability Commission. Is there anybody on our virtual call? That's just you, right? The M is the minute track? Okay. Second time, any comment for items that are not on the agenda? And the third and final time, request for comments. Very good. And we are moving ahead. Agenda items, approval of minutes of the February 14th, 2023 Sustainability Commission.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion about the minutes from the last meeting? Comments, questions? All those in favor of approving the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And that motion carries. Next up is consider and possible action on a clean air initiative.
So I will kick off the kind of the background a little bit. I'm not going to go through it. I gave a lot of meeting minutes that the commission actually discussed over probably almost a course of a year. Basically, initially this was going to be a no idle ordinance type of a thing. I went to council. Alderperson Quigley kicked it back to the commission for further discussion. Now we're kind of calling it a clean air initiative. I believe Commissioner Rakers and a couple other commissioners kind of tag team this to come up with a kind of an educational type campaign. As far as what to do moving forward. Commissioner Rakers actually presented the bullet points I have in the packet as far as, kind of the comments and thoughts with the type of educational campaign and the thought going into it. Really what the, staff was kind of recommendation with the commission is kind of to finalize a plan that you folks want to move forward with and then forward it to the city council for consideration. I too have in there a resolution. We talked after I put this out. We probably don't really need a resolution, but really just a plan. What the commissioners want to do as far as moving forward with the clean air initiative and the education campaign. With that, I believe I'll just turn it over to Commissioner Rakers for further inputs since he kind of led that, I'll call it subcommittee.
Absolutely.
Okay, I guess just following up, so really I thought our intent was just to get this to the council for the next council meeting so that they could sign off on it. So then we can start populating it because, we had a couple emails back and forth, but we really haven't done a lot and there's a lot of effort to be done, but we wanted to get the council. So my understanding is our action is going to be to vote to send our bullet points to the council and hopefully get their approval on the plan, and then we'll start preparing information. Is that everybody else's understanding?
That's my understanding, and I'm seeing nods around the room. Okay, good.
Okay. So, I'd make a recommendation. We move ahead with our Clean Air Initiative and Sustainability Education Campaign, get it to council, and then we can start working, on as a group then again to get this going.
Okay,
Does that sound reasonable?
sounds very good. Is that a motion?
Yeah, I guess that's a motion, sorry.
Okay, and I would second that motion. And before we vote on that, does anybody have questions about the kind of the outline that's here, or any comments or suggestions that we need to put into it? I'm looking at, looks like it's page 10 in the packet. I guess my question, Eric, is it's going to come up at the council. Are there financial obligations? Are we getting the city committed to something here?
Not at this point. I think ultimately, everything we do, you kind of start something and then you build upon it. If we decide to go to signage, permanent signage at places, then there could be. But I think our initial thought was we're going to work on the schools and just put information together, get information on the website, and try to take the information and make it more applicable to Pere, maybe take pictures around a Pere and make it feel like it's here. So initially there isn't, and if there is, we just have to come back to council for
Okay.
funding. So they wouldn't be making any financial commitment.
Okay, thank you. Scott?
Just one of the questions I have for Commissioner Rakers, it's kind of like, when we did I think it's Dickinson School, many years ago, we did an educational campaign about drop-off, pickup, that sort of thing. I know there's information I think the city provided. I don't know if it was letters or maps or a combination of both. I mean, with your campaign, do you envision, it's just the city kind of being involved? I mean, it's minimal cost, but creating some type of information that we would do, maybe provide to the schools to hand out to parents or that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I anticipated some staff time commitment, yes.
And I would like to see it right along with that, is I think if there is a cost of printing a mailer or something like that, asking for sponsors. And I'd be more than happy to get on the phone and ask somebody, this is the campaign, this is what we're trying to do, and see if we can get to offset some of that. So it's not necessarily all coming out of the city budget. The time would be an issue, yes.
But yeah, that would include a time commitment, some from staff.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, it'd be minimal. I mean, I would imagine depending on, what information you're looking at doing. I mean, if it's, 1,000 flyers that are color, well, that might be more costly versus, we do a ream of paper, just black and white. I mean, that's minimal cost that can come out of, like my operational budget. But I don't know what the commission has, envisions as far as the getting information out. A lot of that staff time, I'm not too worried about that. Between myself and I'll say Betty, mostly working with our social media, she's my right-hand person in getting that information out and working, getting it out on our social media and stuff like that. So these are things, I mean, I think are minimal cost, but it's really the hard cost for what type of flyers or anything, that sort of thing you guys want to put out.
The other thing that would be cool is if we could, eventually, and maybe we'll have time now, but even get into some video and put it on our channel.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Who wants to be a star? Who wants to be interviewed? Just kidding. But anyway, it would be cool to have stuff on our TV.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I
Yep,
like
agreed.
that. I would be very interested in that. And two, what you can do, I've done it in the past, is you can create a document, so it's speaking to why it's important, all of those things. You can put it on your website.
Right.
And you can just download it too. Do you know what I mean? If schools wanted to download it on their own, or even just having that there goes a long way.
A link to it.
Yeah, you don't always have to have flyers,
We could even say that's part of being the sustainability committee.
Correct.
So,
And I will say, having a child in the school district, they send out e-newsletters occasionally, so you could always put in there with links and, like you suggested, a downloaded flyer, if you will.
Yeah.
yep, all good ideas. And I like the idea of let's start small, let's figure out what's
Yes.
manageable, and then as we see some successes, then we can figure out how to grow the program. Go ahead.
It ties in with number 2 as well, but last year we had topics at the farmer's market, and this could be a big topic as part of our farmer's market booth if we decide to move forward with that.
Any other comments or questions about the content of what it is we're going to bring to the council? So we have a motion and a second, just basically to bring this information and ask for city council approval. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And those opposed? And that motion carries. Good. Thank you, Commissioner Rakers, and those of you that have done the work so far, and let's keep moving it forward. Awesome. Next up on the agenda, spoiler alert, number 3, consideration and possible action on farmers market booth for 2023.
So what we have here, especially for the new commissioners, this would be the last 2 years we've had several booths at the farmers market, varying topics, that sort of thing. Betty's worked, especially last year. We had some things that worked. The first year did not work so much. The following year, so we tried to get more organized. Last year, the intent was coming up with dates and then having commissioners volunteer the specific dates. Typically, these farmers markets starts late June, goes into September, I believe. Typically, we had it's Thursday nights from, I believe, 3 to 8, 4 to 8, Betty?
It's 3 to 8, and then the last month is 3 to 7.
So what Betty would do is work with the commission, if we want to move forward and doing it again, is kind of have a sign-up sheet. Definitely the peer, we call it a rolling booth, typically for varying type of city-type booths. Commission's one of them, and our health department's been there before. We'll have this set up. Staff will get a booth set up. The typical things for those that volunteer. You guys come up with a topic, like Betty kind of brought up earlier. You can, have information on the clean air initiative, kind of, to talk about that, but kind of, talk about sustainable type products, or things for the commission to kind of, educate the community on. A lot of it has to do is, maybe just say, here's what a sustainability commission does. And then get you involved and get the word out, type of a thing. I guess Betty, what else? If you could add to that. But really tonight, we're looking for, I'll turn it over to Betty, is does the commission want to move forward with it? And if so, it's going to be a commitment from the commissioners, the various time slots. Here's what we have available. You have to sign up. If we don't sign up, then we just cancel, not having it, so.
I don't know if I have a whole lot more to add. Does run June 8th through September 28th on Thursdays. September, again, is 3 to 7 p.m. The other months are 3 to 8 p.m. So the first June, July, and August would be 4-hour shifts preferred, and then figure out the
Three and a
shifts
half,
later.
or split the difference, yeah.
Last year we did all the same, like the second Thursday of each month, which I think kind of helped plan things. And then what we did was I kind of compiled ideas from commissioners of what they kind of have an expertise in, and then we distribute them throughout the months. And then if it's your expertise, you are sort of not required, but strongly encouraged to sign up for the booth slot that your topic is at, as the expert in that, as having suggested it. If we don't move forward with topics, we did the topics last year, but we don't have to move forward with topics if the commission does not feel strongly about that. It can go a little bit more back to what we had the first year, where it was just kind of more of a free-for-all. But it would be good to have some structure, maybe some bullet points, what the commission does, sort of a mission, so we have some good talking points when people ask.
And I would just add a couple of things to that, because I worked a couple of them last year, and I would like to see us do it again. If we can commit to once a month, that'd be wonderful. There was a big sandwich board which kind of had a big overview of the Sustainability Commission. So there's kind of a lot of information on that. And what I found is that my conversations were varied as much as the people that would stop by. So one person wants to talk about this topic and somebody else wants to do that. That's all fine and good with me. I will say that when we had the kids activity where they could either sort or put it in the recycle bin or throw it in the garbage, that attracted a lot of kids. I had one kid who played it 7 times in a row. There was a cookie involved, so that might have something to do with it. But again, if we can get activities, if we can engage a variety of ages of people, and then while the kids playing the game, then you have an opportunity to talk with the adults and get that sort of thing going along. So.
Absolutely. Seems like positive engagement with the community and just awareness in general. Yeah, sounds like a fantastic idea.
Very good. Very good. Can I make a motion? So I would move that we commit to have the Sustainability Commission at the Farmers Market once a month. If anybody's got any objections, I'm okay with the second Thursday of each month. Just again for convenience, if we all know when to keep our calendars open, and then after we put this into motion, then Betty will create a sign-up form and we'll kind of figure out who's going to staff which dates. So that's my motion. I'm looking for.
Just one question.
Yep.
Do we normally meet on the second Tuesday of the month, or do we maybe want to do like the third Thursday, just so you don't have 2 meetings in the same week?
He's so wise. Yes. I would like to amend my poorly worded motion. Yeah, how about the third Thursday of each month? Yes. And I do need a second.
Second.
Okay, thank you. So any discussion or other questions about doing the sustainability, the farmers market once a month on the second Thursday? No. Third Thursdays. Okay, all those in favor of going ahead with that plan, say aye.
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 And those opposed? Thank you very much. Then the motion carries. And then next on the list, discuss landfill alternatives list. Okay, this looks fantastic information. This should be posted in everybody's house, I think. Thank you for putting it together. I mean, is there anything you want to, that we need to know about how this was?
So this was brought forward following the presentation by Mr. Groshek of Greener Bay Compost. Was something Mr. Commissioner Rakers brought up as requesting to have on our website. It is not currently populated on the website. We do have the web page blocked off and created. I will be in discussions with Andy, our social media guru, to figure out what the best way to populate that is with this information. But what we're kind of looking for from the commission is just to provide any feedback on additional information you think should be added to it, or locations or things that you don't think are correct or adequate, or if you know of other locations that fit that you'd like to see added. One thing that Megan, the intern, did suggest is towards the end there is just a section that says to look for like resale shops, to actually put some on there, some of the more local ones, so that people know where to look. There are quite a few of them available, but she did make that suggestion, and I do think that is a good one to add on there.
Go ahead, Eric.
So, yeah, this is just some basic information, and I think it would be really helpful for everybody to look at it. And then again, get it on the website, but then start to build it and make it more user-friendly. Maybe we attach map links so everybody can click and get a map links. Look for additional information. There are a lot of different electronic recyclers in the Green Bay area now. So, we could provide information on that, but I'd like to make it really user-friendly and feel more alive than just a page. And then, maybe people start to look and consider some of this stuff, because, if there's things that don't need to go to the landfill and can be reused, that's tremendous. So I'm hoping we can all build upon this, make recommendations, and make it feel more alive and more interactive, the data for people, and then, get people to start looking at it.
I think too, the more resources you put on there, the more people begin to feel like, oh, like there's so many places to take it, like plastic bags, Festival, Walmart, and the list goes, Piggly Wiggly. There's a lot. So then people feel like, oh, well, I'm there anyway. So it makes it easy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's what-
I agree
that's what we wanna
wholeheartedly,
do.
because,
Yeah.
A lot of times when I'm getting rid of things, I'll take the electronic components out because I can take them somewhere. And I was like, where do I take them all? So I started searching on the internet, and there's like a ton of places. And I found one over by Bay Beach, and they're open all the time during the week, and it was really handy. So people don't know it's there, and you don't think about it. You think, oh, I got to wait until they have one of these special ones.
Correct.
That's a Saturday event, but they're around on a daily basis.
And again, I would like to bring this back to our farmers market. If we can have this maybe as a QR code, and then if we have another one about the Clean Air Initiative, and so it's not overwhelming, 4 or 5 different streams of information, but if we can have it all summarized together and say, what do you want to talk about? And we have pathways to get to those different conversations. That would be fantastic. Again, does anybody see anything on here where there's information you want to add or things that we need to check on?
Is there something for like bulk household items? I know that the city picks it up like twice a year, but I have had a neighbor ask me that, like, where do I bring, is that on here or am I missing it?
Pretty sure it is, because there is at the Municipal Service Center, there's a drop-off.
I missed it. Okay.
Yep. If you see it, let me know here. Cardboard household.
There is a chance that it's less likely on there, because when you say bulk,
Like
all of that
bigger-
stuff
yeah.
goes to the landfill. And the
Okay.
point was it was landfill alternatives.
Got it.
So we can definitely.
That's a good call out though. So maybe there's
Put it-
something we can put an addendum in there of like, hey, if you have these other items, can you remove part of it? Can parts of that be broken down into these? Like maybe that's the missing step of, hey,
Sure.
you don't need your old junky bunk beds. If you can
Yeah.
take parts of it apart, then yeah, okay.
And like on the bottom where it says reduce, reuse, and recycle, but if all else fails, the waste transfer station. But we can
Yes.
also put
Perfect.
our rubbish site on there too.
Oh, I missed that. That's exactly it. Yeah, if all else fails. Perfect. No,
Yeah,
that's great.
And the two codes that are on the bottom here too, the Waste Wizard is really helpful. Again, it's more of a visual thing for people to see what they're looking for. So I think having this is great, but for us as a commission, if we can teach people how to use it efficiently, that's going to be a big ask.
The Better Bin app is still sort of in process of being created and sort of compiling their database. Last I had looked at it, but essentially what you would do with that is if you have the app, you actually scan the barcode on your product, and it tells you how to separate each portion of it.
That's
So like if it's got a cardboard box with a plastic insert or whatever, it tells you how to get rid of the plastic and the cardboard separately.
great.
It's all good? Okay. Any other discussion ideas with this one? Scott, go ahead.
One of the things, since it's we're talking about the landfill alternatives, and as part of this with the Greener Bay compost, there was twofold that actually we had that discussion, we had that presentation that night. One was, what Green Bay does, and getting this, as landfill alternatives. The other was, entering into a partnership. That's still being evaluated, and I keep exchanging emails. The gentleman is very busy. Part of that's going to be a financial type impact, so it's got to be evaluated, moving forward, the type of proposals that they're looking for. It's something that would cost the city money up front. There's not a lot of residents. I think there's maybe 8 residents that are currently in De Pere, because what a lot of people don't realize, if you have a 54115 zip code, they think you're a City of Pere resident, but you're actually not. You could be a Rockland, or you could be a Lawrence, or you could be a Ledgeview. You could be an Ashwaubenon. I mean, there's so many different communities that are there. So I think you take that out of the mix. His customer, that are De Pere addresses are actually narrower. It will be evaluated, and it would definitely be something, if we're going down that path, to be bringing back at a later date, yet to be determined to the commission for further discussion. So.
Okay. Thank you. Do we need a vote or a recommendation on this? Yeah, just keep going ahead and move it forward. All right. Thank you.
If I could just.
Yep, of course.
Part of the reason for the commission, this is just part of us doing business. What we do in Public Works for, posting stuff for solid waste and recycling, and creating our webpage. This is on our webpage. This is as part of what we do is Public Works. So, it's really, there's things that what Betty was looking for is the things you want to add, tweak. It's work in progress. So just, let, Betty know, and then we can tweak it as we go.
Thank you very much. Good. Okay, moving on. Any suggestions for future agenda items? What should we be talking about? What could we be talking about? Go ahead, Scott.
So what we are going to be bringing back in April, it did go to the board or the council last week. I mean, no more May went, but the planned landscape ordinance. So we will be staff will be bringing that forward to the commission. The council recommended staff draft ordinance to create that planned landscape ordinance. So once it's done, we'll bring that draft to the commission for a review, and then moving forward, the council, if you feel comfortable with that proposed ordinance.
Thank you. Anything else? Go ahead, Eric.
I think that's great that that's coming back. Once we get the ordinance, assuming it passes, it would be good, another thing for our website and to get information out there to give people ideas. I mean, some of you are experts on this type of plantings, and to give people ideas and get resources on our website and even at our booth to really promote it so people understand.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All good stuff. Yep. Again, anything else for future agenda items? This is all good. I like it. All right, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed have to stay. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.